So you got some big news.
I do.
The he's got big tunes and he's got big news. What did DeVille describe your bass sound as? Like your
like
your
a
sound
gong.
design? Yeah. So, and then after he said that, I was listening to a lot of your shit and I was like, damn, he's right.
Appreciate it. And yeah, shout out to you guys on the interview. That was amazing. That was really dope to see.
Yeah, I forgot. I mean, I black out on pods most of the time.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I don't even know what we talked about. But yeah, it was tight.
Yeah, dude, we got some news.
Well, alright. Battle raps cause I've shaken grown men to the point that they can't even face their own friends. That's why they rhyme about jewels, not life, cause the ice on which they skating is so thin.
Let's go, baby. I'm excited. Welcome back to the Party with Strategy podcast. A reoccurring guest, one of my most favorite people. I'm going to be honest. It's you and the No Good Boys who I just get to watch absolutely take over the world. And it's just like my little fun thing that I do on social media that I don't really talk about with my fiance or anything. I'm just watching and smiling, and it's incredible. Thank you for coming back on. You're fresh off the road, 3 weeks gone. The kid's drained. He's back. He's ready to go. I'm gonna let you do some talking. I want to hear about what's been going on since the last time we talked. I want to hear about traveling all around. You're playing big shows, like shit that I feel like last time you were here we talked about, like, it's crazy that all my records, I'm talking as you, it's crazy that all my records are getting played, but like I'm not playing these shows and shit, and I feel like it's starting to happen, right?
Yeah, dude, thanks so much, man. I appreciate you're one of my favorite people too. Shout out Diamond Cut over there on
Diamond
the
Cut
ones and twos as well.
Integral part
you
of
too.
everything here.
I love you guys so much. Ever since we met, a lot has like definitely like grown for me, and I feel like I not that I ever needed roots established here in Chicago, but meeting you guys, I feel like was kind of like you were the first Chicago people to kind of like legitimize me to the rest of the city, like not like pay attention to this kid, and like it means a lot. So like ever since then, things have been great. And appreciate you guys too. So
I don't think that I can take credit for that, but I will. Just have to say that I can't, but I will
do it because it was huge. So
I think it's all just timing. But
it's all timing, dude. But and that's a testament to like you're a DJ, right? Like you got your finger, and you're a podcaster. You got it on top of like what's next or like who's up next and stuff, and that's your job, and it just proves that you're good at your job. So,
I appreciate that. That one I'll take.
Yeah, there you go. Sure. But yeah, bro, things have been good. Lots going on right now. Just kind of like it's cool to see like my team and I, and kind of like we, without like outright saying it, for the last few years have continually like set goals that like we just kind of like gravitate around and talk about, like this is what we're gonna do. I guess this is what we're gonna do until the next step. And like it's like we've executed them all, like it's just more like looking back, like we've said we're gonna do something and we do it, and I think that's a key part of like, I guess since I was a kid, but like overall with any creative, it's just like so many of us want to do things, but it's like putting shit into action is like, it becomes a habit. It's so hard to do at first, but now it's like when I say I'm going to do something, if I don't follow through with it, like I feel horrible. Like I have to do it.
Yeah.
And like, I feel like that's been a key part of all of this. Like, I have management that's very on top of things and knows how to like make me look good and like only take opportunities that make me look like, it just put me in the best light, and make sure that they communicate like fairly and openly, and yeah, things have been great, man. I've been on I was on the road for 3 weeks, but it was really like, so I did 2 weeks where I think it was 5 shows, and then I took a week off in Seattle and chilled out. Then flew home, and my manager got married this weekend, and I did a little bit of DJing for that, but that was more personal. Yeah, we finished off at Soundbar, and we had the Red Room to ourselves, so
nice.
We just kind of let loose, and it was a good night, and I'm feeling rested for sure. I got a week and a half here at home until Wonderfront in San Diego, Wonderfront Music Festival, and just announced a sick afters for that. So yeah, and then I got a couple weeks on the road. It's just like on and off, but also taking some time off because we want to see everything that's about to happen kind of play out before we decide what's like the best next move.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So
that's sick, dude.
Yeah,
and
man.
What, you were at Trio, that's North Carolina,
dude,
right?
I was just going to say, I didn't want to glaze over that. It's a few people I played for, but shout out Trio, North and South Carolina. Holy shit, man. They got a system out there.
Yeah.
Like, first off, the rooms are sick. Like, the Charleston one is smaller. What I love about what they're doing, there's obviously other events happening, and I've seen some other cool stuff happening in Charleston, in Charlotte, but they don't. There's a lot of like smaller, cool community events going on. They don't have a lot of higher produced events going on. So it's kind of like, dude, that room is, I think it's like a 6 cap and it was full. Like, I don't put 600 people in Charlotte in a room. That's not me. You know, like maybe I put some of them in there, but they know what they're doing. They know how to like, we're going to have a show, like a good show on this day, and we're going to lock down the entire market for the city for this night. And the production in that room in Charlotte is literally like top tier.
Insane.
The lights, the sound, the lasers. Like, I got fucking lasers.
Yeah.
Like, that's like, who gets lasers at my level? Like, that's ridiculous for a headline. That's ridiculous. Like, those types of lasers.
Yeah.
Like, they cut up
not
my
the
logo.
Spencer's Gifts joint.
Yeah. that was. I saw some photos on the. So it's funny because when I announced that show, like the first person to talk, I think he called me, was like DJ Susan, and he's like, dude, congrats on the Trio show. They cannot wait for you to see how they fucking treat you. And he was right, bro. As soon as you're off the plane, they treat you well. Their whole staff is like, their AR, like they're all on top of it, take you to a nice dinner. Like, you get to meet all of the local DJs and like just the people involved in their operation. And I think the thing that I saw in both cities that really impressed me was how much everybody in that system loves each other. Like, everybody who works for the Trios, the bartenders, this, like all of the staff all the way up to the people who own it, are so just like, they're a family, and it's not like a fake, like, you know, drama feel. I can see that there's a lot of love and passion in what they do.
That's really
and like
dope.
They have pride in being like the best. I don't want to talk like I don't want to step on anyone else in the areas, but like what they're doing is like probably the best in that area. Like, it's the best they have to offer. It's really cool. That, and then the shout out Larimer Lounge and 128 Productions in Colorado, because that was probably, and I love the Trio shows, but in Larimer and Colorado, I felt the love like from the actual like people that went there. Like, I feel like for some reason Denver is probably like my top listener city and like top follower city. It's really weird, but I actually felt it like from the moment I landed there. Like, the messages coming in, and then like everyone stayed until close. They literally, like, one of the people from the promotions came up and like, he's like, I was like asking like 145 hard cut, and he's like, I mean, you can like push 5 minutes. And so I was like, who wants me to play more? And we're like, oh yeah, like the whole room was filled.
We got a little encore.
And then I started to cue up another song, and I noticed as I jumped on the mic, my mic was cut, and I was like, oh shit. And all of a sudden I started to cue up the next song, and like the sound started fading down. I'm like,
they turned you down.
Yeah, they're like, no. And the sound guy came over, he's like, I don't know what they told you, but we needed a 145 hard cut. But it's sick, bro. I mean, like, you could tell you have love from a city when they're engaged at close, like trying to keep you, and like God, love Denver. And just as a city, like, Denver is fucking amazing.
That's so tight.
Yeah.
I've never been to Denver, but Greeley, Colorado is my favorite place on earth. And
Where is
everyone in Colorado hates Greeley because it's like where they slaughter the cows or something, so it smells weird. It smells like death.
Then what brings you there?
My boy lives there, and I just went to visit him because he's my fucking boy, like, since I can remember, as far back as kindergarten. He moved there. He married a girl that's from there, and like, you know, whatever. Okay. They own a bunch of businesses there now. He's been there for a long time, and I hadn't seen him. But when I was in Houston, I think music. He's an insanely talented musician, and I had been playing the drums with like Tanner and Silas from No Good and shit. And then I was like, yo, let me fucking come visit you and jam with you, because he's got a studio up there and shit. So I went up there, and I just fell in love. He took me to the
Okay.
Rockies. We went hiking in the mountains, and just it's incredible.
I know there's really like there's no bad spot in Colorado. I mean, like from what I haven't seen all of it obviously, but everywhere I've gone, like I've had friends just drive me around to random places, and like you just go through like some random 5-minute hike, and you're at some creek that like I don't know. It's everything is just kind of mind blowing.
It's dope.
So, yeah.
I need to go to Denver for sure. I think I'm gonna see the boys at Red Rocks actually.
Sick.
Yeah.
Oh, are they at No Good at Red Rocks?
Yep.
Was that a No Good show, or who are they playing with?
No, I believe it's Tape B. I think
Sick.
they're on.
That's perfect.
Yeah, it's
Nice.
fucking-
Yeah, they're crushing it right now too. I love seeing what they're doing, man.
Yeah, it's insane. But let's get back to you getting treated really well from the moment you land in North Carolina.
Yeah.
Because I feel like people spend money on artists and they bring them out, and sometimes, and I don't know this to be true for a fact, this is just speculation from my experience in nightclubs, but I feel like people sometimes they get a little salty about how much it costs to have you DJ there, and then you get there and they kind of just are like, all right, you're here, we brought you here, we're paying you your money, so fend for yourself and we'll see you at your gig. And that's like the worst way to do it, because if you're paying good money for somebody, you want to get the most out of them. You want them to perform at their highest level. And
Also, if you're on contract, they're your responsibility. Like travel A to B, like stuff like that. You know what I mean? But it's not like a huge deal. Yeah. But I agree with you. I get what you're saying. I mean, I think it depends on the size of the promoter. The best, and I don't hold it against anyone if they're not like picking me up from the airport and stuff like that. Like that's not completely necessary, you know. But at least like checking in via text and stuff like that, just like, oh, like let me know when you land if you need anything. It's a good, you know, some people kind of have like small operations, and it's like they don't have like a full staff to do those things, but like in the people who run Trio and kind of like their whole group, they have that, it's all baked in cost, you know, like they know what things are going to cost them going into it, and like they have that, they know that supplying that experience, like you just said, like you want them at their best. That's exactly the way that I think of it too, like kind of like brings out the best in them, like in the performance and like in the night. But you know, there's at times where like smaller promoters will book me, and like I totally get it, like it's like 2 people running an operation, and like they kind of like hire some staff and stuff like that, and it's like,
not that they need to spend a bunch of money on wining and dining you, but you know, I'm sure even if it's 2 people running a small operation, they're showing a lot of love, and they're grateful that you're there, even if they can't provide the same as, you know, above and beyond. But yeah, it makes sense. I was just going based off of my experience. Like, you know, you get booked somewhere and then they put you at some shitty hotel because you negotiated, like, I gotta have a hotel too, you know, and then you're just like, what are we doing here? I think
that in the best scenarios, if you are smart and ahead of like your stuff, like you do full buyouts. Like I just do full buyouts for most of my bookings.
This is the world I don't even know anything about. I'm talking shitty nightclub DJing. This is next level right here.
If someone's offering to, and I don't do my bookings obviously, so like I'm not the full, you know, authority on this, but like if someone's booking me, I technically prefer like travel and like all of, you know, all of that buyout, hotel buyout, everything. Because I get points with Marriott Bonvoy, like I travel, I get points with United, like miles with United and stuff. Like I'd rather book my own stuff. And especially like, for instance, I did North Carolina to South Carolina to Tampa to, like I had a few days in between South Carolina and Tampa, and then like I did Tampa to Denver. Like I want to be in control of my own travels. Like I want to decide when I'm going to fly and land, and like where I'm going to stay and how long I'm going to stay there, and just make sure I'm comfortable and it's cost effective for me. And like sometimes I have like friends in a city, you know what I mean, that like I'm not going to tell the promoter that like, oh yeah, don't worry about getting me a hotel, like I'm just going to stay at my buddy's place. It's like, no, I just take let me worry about where I'm staying, bake that into my cost. You know what I mean? It makes things a lot easier.
That's nice.
And it's not obviously the same price for every, like we work with people, like it all depends on the situation and like what we're gonna get out of it. But especially like you said, like they put you in a shitty hotel, like I'd rather just pick a good hotel myself every time, you know, Speaking of Denver, why does Denver have the best hotels in the entire fucking country? I don't get
What's going on in the Denver hotels?
Every hotel is nice. Like in the city, like in the downtown and in the artistic area, like I forget what that neighborhood's called, but like on like the on Larimer Square, like every hotel is like really cool and like artsy and like not, even if it's cheaper, they make it like work, and it's clean, very clean hotels anyway. But that's the thing, I prefer to like look and like, or like explore a new area like that I've never seen if I'm gonna be there for an extra few days, so I'll book a hotel in that area, you know, versus
okay, so travel tips from Proppa is make sure you just make them give you the money for the shit and you decide what to do with it. That's nice. Must be nice.
It's just
no, I'm kidding. No, that's dope. It's really nice to hear that, you know, they're going above and beyond, and that they actually are enjoying what they're doing, and it's got a family vibe. That was when I first started in like the service industry, before I was DJing in like for real, when I was just like DJing for fun and learning how to do it and shit. I was working at Butch McGuire's. I was a bouncer and a server and a bartender and all these things. And like that, I fell in love with that world because you are a little family in there. At the end of the night, everyone clears out. It's time to clean up, and you get to like talk shit with everyone and sit at the table and count your money and politic about the night and just enjoy the life, the night that you had. Like that, I fell in love with that.
Yeah, I love that too, and it's cool to see that out of like a larger operation like that Trio Charlotte. Even there, like everybody was kind of, especially in Charleston, because that's a smaller operation, like everybody's really good friends, and you can tell in a club when it's not like that, when it's like a lot more like either corporate or it's like there's a new staff all the time and stuff like that. Like you can tell, and not that it's like a bad thing, you know, I can have a good experience anywhere, but when the love is there, then there's usually a system in place, you know. And they apparently treat everybody the same. Big, like small as me, bigger. They have really big DJs that come there at that Trio Charlotte, because it's a big room, and apparently they treat everybody the same with like a ton of respect and just like show them around, and like, yeah, major respect for them. 128 Productions in Colorado was the same. I went there a day early, and I have a bunch of homies in Colorado, so I was like, don't worry about me. Like, I got a lot I want to do out here, and I had a hotel that was walking distance from the venue, and like I love walking that area, so that was kind of the vibe the whole time. So
sick.
Yeah.
Have you ever had Ripple?
Ripple? What's Ripple? No.
It's a like a THC thing you get from a dispensary. I've only gotten it from Denver and Greeley. Okay. Not Denver, but Colorado. And it's a little packet of like powder, and it's like 10 milligrams or something. And it's tasteless. You can put it in water, and it just, you don't taste it at all.
Sounds dangerous.
It's amazing, bro. I bought a bunch, and then I went back to Houston. I like just put it in my coffee in the morning and forget. I just completely forget that I'm even drinking it because you can't taste it. And then like a couple hours later, after I finish the coffee, I'm like, damn, what's up? I'm feeling good. Like I forgot I even got high. That's the best way to get high, is like on accident.
I feel that. Yeah. And just like unexpected relaxation.
Yes.
That's funny. No, I never tried that. I did dispensaries and stuff. It's, you know, I used to be such a stoner, and I still smoke every day, but it's funny how I like, with how much I've been moving around and how much I have going on, like the less I care about where it comes from, as long as it's clean. Yeah. Like I've been really just, the easiest way is a pen for me right now, you know, because like I don't want to be smelling airports and shit like that, and like I pretty much just move around with a pen all the time, or where I land, I just pick up a pen because I want to be able to like hit it on stage and shit like that. And like discretion and whatnot. But it's funny, in Denver, dude, they were literally selling shrooms on the street, like full tables set up with signs and shit. No, like cops were, they don't care, like,
because it's decriminalized, right? Like you can get a ticket for it, but you're
Denver is as not real of a place as Vegas is.
Okay, nice.
You know, but in such a better way. It's so much more chill. But no hate on Vegas, but yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah. Denver just sounds incredible. I like Colorado.
I really like it. Yeah.
So you got some big news.
I do.
The kid's he's got big tunes, and he's got big news. Big fucking bass what did DeVille describe your bass sound as? Like your
Like
your
a
sound
gong.
design? Yeah. So, and then after he said that, I was listening to a lot of your shit, and I was like, damn, he's right. That shit's crazy.
Appreciate it. And yeah, shout out to you guys on the interview. That was amazing. That was really dope to see. You guys didn't even tell me. Someone else clipped it for me.
Yeah, I forgot. I mean, I black out on pods most of the time.
yeah.
I'm just like, I don't even know what we
Yeah, I
talked
get you.
about. But yeah, it was tight.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Ooh, my bad, diamond cut. Yeah, dude, we got some news. We'll announce it here. May 23rd, Waka Flocka Flame and Proppa, Grove Street Party, all platforms.
Official.
It's official.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
So like, how did that even happen?
Well,
I have so many questions.
I mean, with every single remix of mine that has like done damage online, I'd say this was like, it's at this point it's been like 5 or 6 of them that like we've brushed with officials for. It always starts with like 10 different labels who are a sub label of the one that actually owns the rights. Like, we can get this cleared for you, like sign for it. And my team and I have gone through this enough times to know that like we're really not keen on doing that unless it's the rights holders that hit us up, right? Like, because then you get stuck with, and it's not, it's not a dig like at people at other smaller labels trying to do this, because some of them can do it, but like we've just had it fail so many times. When you go to the rights holders, you have it. There's nothing worse than signing a song with a smaller label for the hope that it gets cleared, and then it doesn't get cleared, and then you're stuck in this conundrum like, well, you make it a cover, like what are we gonna do? So
because they still want to be part of it. They're not like, oh, we couldn't do it, sorry, we'll talk to you later. They're like, well, we're cooking, what can we make?
And they've put work in already trying to get the legal part done, so it's like, we don't want to let this go. I totally understand in that situation. So we're careful about normally, like, unless we feel like that smaller label can definitely do some work with it and make it work out, like, we want the rights holders to hit us up. And like, I want to say in January, I think it was, my absolute fucking childhood hero hit me up on Instagram, Lex Luger, who I think I told you about that.
You told me the night it happened. I was like, that's fucking nuts.
Freaked the fuck out. Lex Luger is responsible for Flockavelli, Waka Flocka Flames album. He's responsible for a ton of tracks that came out of Brick Squad. A ton of tracks by Gucci Mane, just all across the board. He's worked with every rapper you ever care about. Every single hip hop song that you have ever heard now pretty much has his samples littered all over it. He is the undisputed GOAT of trap rap, southern trap production. And he's part of the reason I got into music production in the first place, because like, I think like the second beat I ever tried to recreate was Hard in the Paint by Waka Flocka Flame. So it's just like, his music sits near and dear to me. He messaged me, he said he really liked the track and wanted to get it cleared. I freaked the fuck out. We got our managers linked together. His manager linked us with the sub-label of Warner that holds the rights to Grove Street Party. And from there, we had been in talks and working on it. And finally, we locked in a release date.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's absolutely insane.
And they really propped me up too. It's not Waka Flocka Flame, Grove Street Party, Proppa remix. It's Proppa, Waka. They really, honestly, I feel too honored. I feel like I don't deserve it. Waka Flocka Flame, I just propped it. Like, Waka Flocka Flame is also one of my favorite fucking rappers of all time. Like, it's like, that's my entire, like, that's all of my high school, and like all of my boys in high school and college, like just going so fucking hard to Flockavelli, and like just seeing his transition into electronic music too. Like, when I was making that transition into being an electronic music producer was like so huge, like working with people in the DJ space. Like, so I don't feel deserved. It still doesn't feel real. I could see the track right now, like in certain like things I'm so it's real, but it doesn't feel real. I don't feel deserving, and there's too many people that I have to thank for this. So
that's crazy, bro.
Yeah,
congratulations.
Thank you.
Absolutely, you definitely deserve it. It's without doubt. So believe it. And how does it come out not a remix? How is it, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's already a song. Like, this must be a new thing is what I'm getting at. And it goes back to one of the other pods we did for sure, because I was asking, like, if you make a remix of something and then it blows up, why wouldn't a label like want to attach themselves to it and promote it and like be part of it? Because it's obvious that people like it. So I don't understand why labels are like shutting people down.
Yeah.
And I feel like this is a turning point we're in right now. We're seeing that live. Like,
I mean, dude, I don't know. I think I don't want to say too much because I feel like I don't deserve it. So that's why, like, I don't know. I have really, the people that were all involved in making this happen obviously really care about me. So,
and like and this could be my Jew brain talking, so stop me at any point, but like why does Lex reach out to you and say, I want to make this official for you? Like, is he involved in it? So he obviously he's involved in it. He originally created it, so he gets some kind of money out of it. Like,
yeah,
they're working the system for themselves now, when I feel like they weren't before. Like, oh, shut that down. That's not our song. It's a remix of our song. But now they're getting privy to it. I mean,
no one would do this if there wasn't money to make off of it.
Yeah.
And from the start, when we do these things, like, we're in the understanding, like, I'm not gonna make any money. I don't want to make any money off this. This is not my writing. You know, I just made the remix, like, and I did the production, but this is not my writing. I don't want to make $1 off of this, because what it can do for me, just in general, for it existing. I
mean, to have your name, Waka Flocka, Proppa, just in the artist, that's amazing, bro. Yeah. That's amazing.
I know. I don't even, like, it feels weird. I feel dirty talking about it, because it's like I don't relate. I don't deserve it. Like, but
I can relate to that. You do deserve it. So just that'll, I think, wear off hopefully after some point, because you're gonna keep getting things, so it will not feel as insane. But I can relate to feeling like I don't even want to talk about this because I feel like a douchebag. You know,
yeah. That's exactly kind of what it is. Like, it's like, Waka Flocka is such a fucking legend. Like, such like an OG, like such like he paved the way for so many people in the trap space. Like, and Lex Luger the same. Like, all the people involved in this are like so important to like the music industry. So little old me, you know, like,
bro, it's, you can't, like, if Grove Street was the only song that you had that just like blew up out of nowhere and this happened, I might sit here and be like, you're right. Time will tell. We'll see if you deserve it. Yeah. But this is not the case. This is like the 7th song of yours that you remixed to just absolutely blow up. Like,
true.
It's
I appreciate it, man.
The proof is in the fucking in the bass gong.
Yeah. There you go. Good one. You know, I think like a big part of this was like, shout out fucking John Summit and Mal P and like all the people, all the Clooney and like all the DJs who have been supporting the hell out of it. Like Henry Fong and like, dude, there's a whole list of people I can thank for like that just continually played the shit out of this record for the last year and kept new people discovering it. And obviously proved the demand for it, because I wasn't able to do it myself, you know? So, like, it's, you know, it takes an army. Like, it really does. You know, like, it's not just, like, obviously you make the track, but, like, one video blowing up isn't going to do it. Like, it's all about what catalyzes it, but, like, you know, all the artists who, like, obviously, even if they don't talk to me, like, believe in my track enough to, like, play it out and post it on their social media and stuff like that, like, yeah. So, it's huge, man. It's been, and it's crazy because I have like so much other news I can't even talk about yet right now, and like we're waiting right now for this to play out, you know, and just see like what's next. Like,
so okay, it's getting released. It's not a remix. It's Grove Street Party, Waka Flocka, Proppa. You're pretty savvy on all this like music stuff. Anytime I have a question about the music industry or track source or anything I see, I come to you, I ask you, you always have the answer. Are there any other examples of this where a remix blew up and then the label got with it and then they put it out as this thing? Like, have you been seeing that?
I'm trying to think off the top of my head of one recently. So it goes in a couple different directions. Like a good one, and what I really thought this was going to be like was, I don't know if you know the Bandit Club Mix.
Bandit, Don Toliver.
Yeah, and Acraze.
Okay.
Yeah,
is it Acraze?
I think it's Acraze, yeah.
Okay.
That was, I think, what I could imagine in a situation like that is just like Acraze remixing it and his team being like, yeah, this is a big, and just working, having the connections and talking to them, and then just making it like them both artists on the track and then titling it as Club Mix, like that makes sense. Like I'm trying to think, like sometimes, for instance, Nico and Sway, Goodfella, Tiesto, Everybody Wants to Rule the World. I think I might be missing one other producer on that one. That one's a cover. And that was the type of situation where like we can get this 99% close and release it. And they did. And so it all just, because like it was like a remix that I believe was out on SoundCloud. I'm trying to think of some other ones. The Goodfella and Disco Lines just had one too that I think they had on SoundCloud for a while, that like the original label reached out to them. So it is happening. And I think it is, for one, artist managers aren't going to let it, like the remixers aren't going to let it happen unless like their profiles, because I think what happens is if your profile is tagged as like a primary artist on Spotify, you get the streams, you get like on your monthly listeners and stuff like that. If you're a secondary artist, basically a remixer, a lot of times that like they do that for remixes, your profile doesn't get the stats for it and everything. So there's a huge thing with artists pushing like, let's make it the primary artist, and like I think that might be kind of like what's driving the decision for labels to just be like, okay, this is just a new release, then like we're just reusing the writing and like some of the production, so I think it makes more sense like that too, to not like, I don't know. I think there's more stuff in the back end that I don't understand about like creating a new IRSC code for like the track, and like new like, just like categorizing
a separate entity.
Different stuff for categorizing purposes and monetary like distribution and stuff like that, when like there's different people involved in the record now. And so
okay. That's crazy, bro. But I'm just so glad, like, we're seeing it happen. This is happening in real time. Like the labels are smartening up and understanding that you can't, no matter how many copyright strikes you do, you're not going to stop people from remixing songs.
Yeah. I think it's moving at the right pace.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you can't just, it's taken a while for the majors and all these labels to like really kind of like believe in electronic music and think that it can like, bring in money. And now we're seeing with Coachella had 33% electronic music booked over, pop music and rock music and rap music all had less than 33%. So like we're starting to see the natural, it's like very natural, like, of course, like these major labels and these artists are not going to immediately sign on. Like it's a very new thing,
right? Right. Yeah.
So it's all moving at a natural pace, and I think that the label's not immediately jumping on every remix that's doing well online is good, because it would become a cheap thing if like it was so easy to get a remix on it, through the official processing. Like
true. True. That would kind of just ruin it. Yeah. It would make it way less.
Yeah. They got to know that. And I think that I believe in, it takes a while to like get mentally there, but then you understand, like, I believe in the people at the top of the industry. Like, I believe that they know things better than we do.
Like heads of labels you're talking.
Yeah. And I believe that they like understand, like, okay, this one obviously is going to have an impact. Like, yeah, electronic music fans like this remix, but like it's hit its peak like this, but like this one I know can speaks, but like I
they know
trust,
the hits. They know that's what the business was built off of, right?
Yeah.
Knowing the hits.
Yeah, I trust that they know which remixes to make official, because they know that they're gonna do what needs to be done.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
I can see that for sure. But that's sick, dude. That's
Yeah,
sick.
man.
And you like you said, there's other stuff you can't even talk about yet in the works. It's all happening. What are the next couple big shows you got coming up?
Wonderfront Music Festival. I said before, I have a good afters for that. I don't remember the venue because we just locked it in, but it's kind of like a one where they just started doing electronic shows. So yeah, Wonderfront, and then I'm off to Rhode Island, Providence, Rhode Island. I'm trying to remember what that venue is. Everything's kind of new to me. And then I haven't announced yet, but the 23rd, I think by the time this podcast out, we'll be announcing.
You don't have to say it if you don't want.
All right. I got a show on the 23rd, returning to a city that I played at earlier this year. So I'm excited for that. Playing in New Orleans, but that's not until like August. That one's August or September. And then I have a bunch of kind of like I said, we're actually like, we've had a lot of offers come in, but I'm kind of just waiting because like obviously at the point that we're talking about this, like nobody knows about what's happening for me in the next month, and we kind of just want to wait and see what we, because like I'd hate to like book in a city with like an ex promoter, but Y promoter is really the promoter we want to be booking with in that city, and then like this track comes out and then Y promoter hits us up and it's like, sorry, we're with X promoter this year.
Yeah. That makes sense. The waiting game is a huge part of the whole thing, I think.
Yeah.
And I think that's something that a lot of people don't understand. And I want to touch on that after I pee. I'll be right back.
Yeah, do your thing. I'm going to hit my vape.
Shouts to Long Drink for sponsoring the podcast. Absolutely the best cocktail you can get out there. That's exactly what it is. A cocktail in a can. It's not a seltzer, as you can tell. It's not one of those stupid, long, skinny cans that makes you look like an idiot stick when you're drinking it. This is good stuff. Anyone I give one of these to ask me what it is, where they can get it, and why they haven't had it before. I'm putting people on. You guys are next. Thank you for watching. Enjoy the program. Go to your local liquor store. Target's got them. Wherever you can. Grab a long drink today. Enjoy. Watch the pod. Let's get back to it. Thank you. Okay, so waiting is a big thing, and I feel like a lot of people don't get that. It's especially, I'm glad that I have you here to speak on this because I obviously don't produce music, so I can't really give my input on this for like younger kids who are trying to go that route. My opinions hold no weight because I'm not in that world, but you are. So, and this is something I see all the time, right? Like you're talking about waiting and releasing things at the right time, doing things at the right time, and taking advantage of good bookings over just all bookings and things like that. When these younger producer kids, I feel like, are all about showing everything, getting out as many releases as possible. Oh, hell, dog, I'm the best. I release one song a week. Like, I'm the fucking man. Like...
I think there's good to both. Like, I'm in a special place where I can wait now, right? Like, I think you have to create... there's different sides to it, right? Like, because I used to be like that every 2 weeks I'm going to release a remix thing. Like, why? Like... because I need to be able to create content. I want something to create content about. I'm not just going to do get ready with me videos, like I want like music to showcase. And like if you're undiscovered, like if people don't know you yet and you have like, and you're creating a lot of music, then I think it's good to showcase it as much as you possibly can. And like I've talked about this in another podcast, like I held on to music too much, and when labels weren't signing it and stuff, like I should have just sent it out. Like I should have just self-released and stuff. Should have been putting out remixes, and consistency with like releases is good. However, there's the waiting game for bookings plays early. If you have a way to make money that's not DJing, then the waiting game for bookings should kick in early. Like you should start that process very early. And what
you're saying is like, don't take every gig.
Yes.
So I think most of what I see is producer DJs that want to get known for their production still doing the nightclub circuit like 7 nights a week, and just collecting all the checks. Because it's hard to turn checks down.
Back. Oh, it holds you back so hard though. I know it's hard to turn those checks down, but like if you can find any, especially if you're a producer, there's actually so many different ways you can make money online. And if you can at least hold back on that, like let's say if you're like realistically DJing like 4 nights a week to pay the bills, like if you can hold back on that and make it like 1 or 2, like that's so huge. Because unless you're like, let's say you're like a deep house artist and your gigs are playing deep house, like that's obviously different, and to an extent you still want to hold back, like, but it depends on each situation. Like for me, making bass house, like there's only so many gigs I could have played as a local in Chicago, and B, like, you know, when you're starting to build traction online, you don't want to give yourself away for a cheap price. And I feel like we talked about this like in the last time that we interviewed, but like you obviously don't want to give yourself away for like the first bidder. So there's like finesse in that game. In terms of the release game, I feel like this past, with the blow up of the Grove Street track, the Work remix, I feel like now I'm in a position where I can play the waiting game with my releases, and like I can kind of be careful because people will listen. You know, like I know people will listen. But and you'll still see me on social media like pumping out IDs and like not actually releasing them. But it takes time to like get to that point. Like I think everyone should be consistent at the beginning. Like because that's how I got good, and that's how I learned what people wanted to know, like wanted to play and like listen to. Like by putting out a remix every 2 weeks, I was able to see like they like these ones, they don't like these ones. The ones that were like more bass house, more hip hop inspired, remixing hip hop songs, they all went way harder on hyped it, social media, SoundCloud. The ones that were more tech house, like more like upbeat and like kind of like better for like the day clubs and like kind of just like typical tech house sets, people didn't like as much. Like I didn't make good standard tech house well, so I started leaning more, you know, I was able to do that trial and error and then find out what people like, and then I hit like the 3-4 tracks that people really like, and now I can pull back and be like, okay, I have a lot more of these, let me dish them out so that I'm not overwhelming myself on production. I can spend time on the live set, and I can spend time on the social media and the Patreon and stuff, but it takes time to get there. In terms of the shows, like you should only be playing shows that either pay you well or are good content opportunities, and you're not like, don't step too far off your brand. I actually just did a video about this to my Patreon subscribers. Like so I was DJing every Friday and sometimes Saturday nights at Mickey's Park in Chicago. I was playing 6 hours, and I was able to play whatever I wanted as long as it was house music. And I was there just testing out all my tracks. I didn't have to promote it, so I wasn't putting the Proppa brand all over it because it's a small room anyway, so it would fill up regardless. That's an ideal situation. I would make like, I don't want to say how much I was making a night, but it was enough to help me like pay my bills. Like that's an ideal situation. I wasn't stepping too far off my brand. I wasn't stomping all over my brand on social media and making myself look like a cheap local. And I was able to test out the music I wanted to test out, get reactions from the crowd. If it was really hype, I could take a video and use it for social media, but I never had to, you know, like, and the best thing was I was able to sit there and refine the DJ skills that I use in my sets right now with like the style and tracks I want. I didn't have to bend the knee to anyone who wanted me to play a certain way. Yeah. And like I didn't have to worry about not over showing a headliner or something because I was in control the whole night. And I feel like if you can find situations like that, like it sounds like where people are like 6-hour sets, like, you know, twice a week for like, you know, basically the same amount of money I'd make for 1 hour for this promoter. That's worse. No, it's not. Like, stop taking sets where you have to hold back. You're not playing shit that's on brand for you. You can't even play your own productions because they go too hard for 9 o'clock. Like, stop taking those sets. And then you get a rapport with those promoters where they think they could book you for $300, $400, $500. Like,
it's hard to break out of that.
It's hard to break out of that. Yeah. And then you're spending, this is the thing that a lot of people don't talk about, and I'm not going to ever call out anyone specifically, but you see so many people looking for status because they think that's what's going to get them to the next step. If I'm friends with this guy, if I stay at afters with this guy, if I do drugs with this guy.
Well, that is true in the nightlife world to some degree.
Yeah.
In the nightlife world, which is why I feel like this whole conversation is kind of the separation of nightclub DJing, local DJing, taking, being the guy that has all the gigs, doing all the clubs, and like actually focusing on being an artist.
It's to me though, that's like worrying about winning. That's like worrying about winning the minor league, World Series when you're trying to get called up to the major leagues that year.
That's a great way to put it.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm,
like, why be the coolest guy in your city when your goal is to be, like a touring DJ?
Yeah.
Like, it's never, and I watch people get stuck in this trap. Of course, yeah, you climb your way. I've seen people climb their way up in nightlife. Guess where they're stuck?
In nightlife.
In Chicago nightlife.
Yeah.
So ultimately, if the decision is go play this gig because I have to play off brand, but I'll be impressing people that I want to impress because they're local promoters who don't care about my productions, but I want to get gigs with them so I could feel cool about my brand or whatever. Or the other decision is sit in the studio and work on bangers. You know what the decision is. Like now, and I would not have made those. I would have been chasing my tail in nightlife unless I had the right influences around me constantly to be like, sit in the studio, focus on your craft, like constantly. So that wasn't this isn't mojo that I learned, or that I just was born with. This is mojo I learned, and I'm grateful for. And I just, you see people get stuck in that trap. That's the waiting game you got to play.
That's the thing that I see most often is people stuck in that trap. And they don't really even know that they're stuck in it because they feel like they're making headway. And
let me just clarify. Nothing wrong with being in local Chicago night.
I am in local Chicago
nothing
nightlife,
wrong with it.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is if your goal is to be a touring, nationally, globally touring DJ.
Exactly.
Don't focus on goals that keep you in Chicago nightlife. That's the only thing that I'm referencing.
Yeah. No, 100%. I mean, I make my living in Chicago nightlife. Like, I don't necessarily have goals to make music and travel the world. Mm-hmm. So
yeah,
I'm fine with it.
Chicago's a fun city too.
It's incredible. It's the best city in the world.
Yep.
And we throw the best party in the city. Yeah. Celeste, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Let's go.
Just saying.
I haven't been in a minute. I gotta go.
No, yeah, I think that people get stuck in that trap and they don't really know that they're in it because there's all these little things that I see, and correct me if I'm wrong, again, I see the song stats that are being fed to people as oh, look at this, you can post this on your Instagram story, it reminds me, I see it, and it reminds me of when OnlyFans was huge over the pandemic, and you'd see the girl post, I'm top 0.03% of creators on OnlyFans, and it's you really believe that? You're this is not Bad Baby posting this. This is some bottle service chick who made the account yesterday, and OnlyFans is giving that to her, knowing that she will post that and promote their site. Mm-hmm. It's bait. These people, I feel bad for these kids because they're getting baited into this thing where they're no, my song, look at their song says is telling me my song is doing so well that they really believe, and they get stuck. It just something that keeps them in that trap. Yeah. I feel like.
I mean, it always depends. You never really know where people get you never know what people do to get to the position they're in with streams. I always give people the benefit of the doubt. To me, what I found is the one metric that I go by is, are DJs playing my tracks or not? That's what I start and until DJs started playing my tracks, I cared about so much. I cared about every little detail, and then I realized our goal with electronic music is to write music that people want to dance to. Plain and simple, make music that people want to dance to. If you're not fulfilling that job, then what are you doing? But I don't get too much deep into, because like I try these days to just like uplift, right?
Well, that I'm not saying, I don't want to like talk negative about specific people,
Yeah.
but I do want to uplift in spreading the knowledge that like what
for
you're
sure.
buying into is not necessarily what you think it is. And I could be wrong. You could sit here and be like, no, that's legit. Like if Songstats gives you,
Well, I
you
mean,
know,
like, yeah, it depends. Like if you're, by all means, like if you're charting like places and stuff like that, that's fine. Here's the thing too. I think that as long as you're authentic, right? You make your music, you don't like get it ghost produced. You make it like with authenticity. Like it's not like a bunch of loops thrown together. Like you actually are like trying. If you go through the proper things to either self-release it or release it through a label, and you do all of that, whatever, if you're authentic, whatever schemes, and you're not paying for streams, whatever schemes you got to pull to make yourself look good online for it, that's totally fine. I mean, look how many times I've posted DJs playing my tracks, I think that's the thing. Like a lot of people big DJs will play their song and they'll just share song stats to their story. Like I just like take the video of them playing it and find a way to post it on my own fucking Instagram, so like however you got to scheme to like use people.
But I think like, okay, if somebody posts the picture of the song that's saying the DJ's playing their song, I don't think it, and they can't get the video of it, I don't think it's actually happening. It's like one of those things where you get added to David Guetta's assistant's playlist and you're like, oh shit, David Guetta's listening to my song.
So one of the things a lot of times is like song stats it will tell you when you share that photo, the reason I stopped doing those is it'll tell you in the back end if it was played on a radio show or on like an actual stage or something, and obviously like played in a DJ set like carries more weight. So you could always actually screenshot the back end where it says where they played it and share that. So like it all depends. Like because like for instance, I think like I noticed it when it showed up like Bijou and another DJ played one of my songs, and I was like, oh, Bijou played my song. This is a long time ago, but then I go to the radio show and I realize the other DJ played it during their hour on Bijou's 2-hour radio show. So like, there's
what
exceptions.
I'm saying. But again, not to like shit on people that are doing this, but if you are actually trying to making it look like you're making it is not going to actually make you make it. You know what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying. It depends on if you're authentic. That's all that matters.
Yeah.
If your shit is actually good, and if you get a notification that says that someone played your track, share it. Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, share it. But yeah, I think putting weight into stuff like that is where it ultimately gets like dicey. It's good to celebrate small wins like that and stuff. But always like, if your goal is to be a touring DJ, that's the goal. Yeah. Like it's not getting X DJ to play your song, and like that's but everyone can harp on whatever win they want on. Yeah, it's so funny. The more I get like, the more I'm like, I could. It's like.
I feel
it's
you.
Like whatever you want to do, man.
Because because you're winning, and you're like you're not winning so that you can win and go be like shit on everyone. You're winning so that you can also uplift other people. So that's what you want to do, and I get it, and I love that about you, and I respect it. But also, like, is this a conversation that's popular? Have you had this conversation? Is this like a thing? Is this like an argument? Is this like a talk? Like, I don't talk with a lot of producers. I don't live in that world, but in that world, are there a lot of people being like, yeah, these kids are all faking it kind of thing?
Sometimes, and you know what? Like, there's some of it that's constructive, but I feel like a lot of times when I see other producers saying that stuff, it's a lot of times it's because their shit's not getting played. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. There's a lot of truth to that type of stuff. Like, obviously, 100%. But it's just like, I think like once you get to a certain point, it's just like now that shit is like so far behind me. But it is, so what I will say is like I'll talk to my students about this stuff. Like I'll just like, because what's funny is you'll see people over celebrate stuff like that, and then you'll see people not celebrate shit. Like they won't post anything. I have a student who like has a bunch of tracks on SoundCloud that are actually getting played by some decent DJs, and like he doesn't post on social media. I'm like, bro,
send him over here. Those are the kind of people I like.
Yeah,
I want to meet this kid.
Yeah, right. Like I'm like, dude, post it.
Those are the kind of people I really enjoy.
Yeah, I feel you. I mean, but like, what's funny is as soon as I started posting the videos of like John Summit playing my tracks, Tiesto, like Clooney, like my social media started elevating. You know what I mean? It's weird.
But you can't put that in the same boat as like the song stat thing, because that is proof. Like I get it. It is like, oh, I feel a little corny because I'm like, look at me, I'm being played by John Summit. I feel that, but also it's real, like real fucking life. John Summit is actually playing your song on a stage in front of thousands of people. You're not pretending like that's happening.
I'll give the people the other producers listening to this some free technical social media game. It's the best way to post song stats like that. Let's see.
Here we go. This is what I've been looking for. It's been 30 minutes digging here. Now we got some gold.
I post so much on social media, it's hard to fucking wade through all this shit. So when I was playing less shows, I was obviously posting more like memes and stuff. I was making memes and posting them. This is back when Instagram was square, 17 weeks ago. Wow. So you can't see it on the camera, obviously, but like I'll make stacks of meme posts, and I'll literally make this meme says Proppa farts in DJ booth, claims that all other DJs do it too. Like I'll just make dumbass, memes and stuff, and I'll include pictures of me DJing or like playing shows or whatever from recent, more memes, and then I'll throw in song stats.
Just sprinkle it in a little.
Sprinkle it in. More funny memes, more random videos of me, you know what I mean? Song stats.
That's great advice.
More funny memes, song stats. This one is finally Alice in Wonderland did play my track on a stage, but this is all I got of it. But so free game, sprinkle that shit in. Don't harp on it too much, but people will be like, oh shit, dude, that's huge.
See, I like that a lot more. It just, I don't know, there's something about it when I can just tell that somebody's posting something and like
putting a lot of their weight into it,
putting everything on it. I'm like,
one of the things, so I did make one of my things on my Patreon that people have really liked is Proppa Yaps. Like I talk about this stuff. This was either before I started Proppa Yaps, or this was one of the first ones, but it's like, yes, don't put too much weight into the small wins or the small losses. Like, for instance, because this relates to the same thing. If you spend all your time submitting to labels and the labels are saying no, and like you're just not putting out your tracks and stuff like that, and you're like shooting for high labels when you know you're not there yet, and you're getting in that negative feedback loop, then those losses, like when you put all your weight into like signing with a certain label and stuff, those losses feel worse. They fucking suck, because it's like, I really wanted it, because I went through this. I really wanted to sign with Confession years ago, and I put all my weight into trying to sign with them and sending them tracks, and they weren't signing them because they weren't that good yet. And it sucked for me. I didn't release tracks for a long time. Like I took it personally, and it's the same thing with wins. Like if you put all your weight into like a certain win that you got, obviously you want to celebrate your wins. But if like your biggest goal is like getting a track on this X label or like getting played by, I actually described this in the video. If your biggest goal is getting a track signed by a certain DJ's label or played by that DJ, then once you get there and that's your fucking Mount Everest, then you don't know where to go from there. Like you need to like, everything needs to be stepping stones to the ultimate goal that is like, what is it? Being, do you want to win a Grammy? Do you want to be touring DJ? Do you want to tour the whole world? Do you want to be your fucking $100,000 booking fee? Like, what is the ultimate goal? And it can't be something like just small, like having a big DJ play, like a certain DJ support you or getting signed to a certain label. Like, you need bigger goals than that. So I think that's what this larger conversation is really about. And it is really helpful to hear that for people, because I have like seen, I'm not going to say who it is or say any specifics, but I used to be close to someone whose biggest goal was getting signed by a specific DJ into his label, and he put all that weight into a specific song for like fucking like a whole year, worked on the same song, and then once he signed to that label, I didn't see shit after that. That was it. So I think that's the larger conversation here.
I think you fucking nailed it. Absolutely. Yeah. That's beautiful. That's the most well put and constructive way, and giving advice, and hopefully, someone watches this and is like, oh shit, what the fuck am I doing?
Yeah, I mean, it's what I say at the end of it, like with this whole topic, is like, your goal should be, my goal is greatness, and it's like so cheesy, but it's just what it is. Like, if you are undeniably great, then you have like what you need, right? Like, if you're undeniably great at producing music, DJing, posting on social media, like, then you're gonna be comfortable, right, in life. You're gonna be good. So that's always been my goal, is just be undeniably great, and the rest will come. So like, every win is good, but it's just like, it's a stepping stone to greatness.
Yeah. And the greatness comes through with you in everything I've seen you do. Obviously, I like your production a lot. When you first did the Dig Bipper, I had never seen you DJ before, and I wasn't expecting anything, really. I was like, this guy's a fucking incredible producer. I imagine he's just going to play the incredible tracks that he produced, and people are going to love it. But you fucking put on an incredible show DJing.
Thanks,
you were great at you were as great at DJing as you were at producing.
I appreciate it, dude.
And then
Thank you.
This brings us to the next point, getting content. You're just as great at that side of it as you are at the other two. So all these things are all coming together at the same time, which is exactly why you are deserving of releasing a song with Waka Flocka Flame.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it.
So, and getting content, you were talking with Diamond Cut while I was pissing about like showing up to sound check and setting your cameras up.
Yeah.
Which I never even thought about.
Yeah.
Because I've never done a sound check.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what's funny is a lot of DJs don't, and on the road, a lot of touring DJs don't do sound check. A lot of them, like, they're too busy. They show up late. Like, not late, but they show up after sound check would happen. Like,
I'm just saying I've never done one because I've never had to do a show that has a sound check.
I get you. I mean, some promoters are taken by surprise because, like, for them, sound check is like setting up the gear and stuff, But we kind of just described, like, I just need to go before everyone's there so I can set up my cameras, because I don't want it to be too hard for me to get to my cameras. Like, because there's always, like, back of the house people, like, there's always, like, people doing, or front of the house, if you will, like, people doing, like, the lights and the sound and stuff. And I can ask one of them to, like, go and hit the on button for my camera or something. But yeah, I'll show up. It's usually, like, if the show starts at like 10, sound check will be like 8 o'clock. And I'll show up and I'll mount one camera across the club. And I did film Denver Larimer Lounge in landscape. That was the first time I've ever done that, because I think I'm going to post the full set. But I've been filming everything literally with GoPro Ace Pros in portrait mode, just like social media ready. Like, I frame the shot exactly that would look perfect, so I don't have to like cut it weird or anything. And then I'll film it portrait. I film 2 camera angles right now. I have a third camera, but it's a lot to manage, and it's a lot of storage to manage too. So I'm just doing 2 camera angles right now, and then I record the audio with my phone with the DJM record app. And then now I'll just hire a third camera angle. I'll hire someone to like walk around with the camera and edit them together.
And you're still doing your own editing.
Yeah.
Is it have you tried to source that out at all?
No. If I'm going to outsource editing, it's going to be when I hire way down the line someone to be on the road with me full time to do the editing, because I need to be there in person with them, like telling them like, that moment I need you to cut like to this end. Like, it's, yeah, I fucked myself by being so on top of like all of the AV stuff, like,
yep.
But no, I gotta have like a certain level of involvement in that at this point. you know, I would think eventually when we get to a point where there's like a full production, it's gonna be way down the line, but when there's a full production involved, when I have like, you know, like someone doing the lights and like the video and stuff like that, and like a whole team involved in this, like obviously they're gonna know how to do the filming and the editing right and stuff. But for now, when I'm setting up my own cameras and like kind of like I'm making the music every week and like I'm on top of my own sets and stuff, like I'm kind of gonna be it's gonna be fastest with me, you know, not going back and forth with someone. So
yeah, of course, because you know exactly what you want. It's just way faster to do it.
Yeah, I literally just edit a clip as soon as I get back to the hotel.
It's so hard to have been doing something for so long and then try and be like, okay, here, look at this. This is what I do. Can you do this? You know, like it's actually almost impossible.
I know it is. Yeah, and everyone has their own system too if they like do the editing, and so yeah, I don't mind it, but it's what I'm trying to find balance in right now is like a lot of people like my studio content, you know, like stuff when I'm doing at home and like in a more natural environment. And when I'm on the road for like 2-3 weeks at a time, like it's they're not getting that from me, you know? So I'm trying to find like ways to like maybe rent studios or get out on the street more and make goofy content, bring a microphone or something with me. So
yeah, you seen that kid that fucking has like the whole production thing on his back?
That's crazy. Yeah, he makes beats and like he'll have rappers come up to him and dude, that shit is so cool.
That's what you need.
I've wanted to do something like that, but like that's like a whole case in itself at the airport. So
yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, but yeah, dude, content's fun. You gotta make it fun.
Yeah, I feel that. I've been going through like a little lull where I just, for some reason, I'm just like thinking about making a clip, like a pod clip or something. I'm just like, oh God, I don't want to do it. But the second that I open Premiere and drop the clip in and start, I'm like, oh, this is so fun.
Yeah.
Like, what is it that makes me like, oh God, I don't want to do that, but I know I enjoy doing it.
Dude, I used to edit all my sister's social media clips for like the related to her pod and stuff, so I felt the exact, like I would dread editing them, but as soon as I got in the groove, especially if it was like a funny moment in the podcast or something, and I was able to do some goofy editing, like I would start loving it. Yeah, I feel the same way. I don't know. I've been doing, I don't know if you've seen those really weird edits I've been doing, like the music video style edits.
Yeah, where you were sitting in the car, like in an Uber or something.
I just did that one, yeah. I did the one on the street where like I've done a few on the street, like where I've been walking and stuff, and like I do a crazy edits in the sky. I really love doing those. I'm not gonna lie. Like,
what are you doing that in?
Final Cut.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, actually, so one of the funny things is CapCut is really good with the auto background removal, which is not a real thing. Like that's
definitely an app thing.
Yeah, it's called.
Otherwise, you have to be fucking go to Columbia for 4 years to know how to fucking do it in one of the like
fast.
Professionally.
I know how to like mask and key, but like there's people that are good at doing it frame by frame and like able to like make it smooth. Where like I'm like really bad at that part, so I'll use CapCut and I'll make as good of a like background removed plate as I can. What I'll do is I have a picture of a green screen and I just put the green screen underneath it, so I'm on a green screen, and I'll make sure that there's leak into the background, but all of me is there.
Yeah.
And then I'll go into Final Cut and I'll place the green screen plate, and then the parts that I need to use that overlay, I'll like mask out like the parts of the background that leak.
Yeah. That makes sense.
Like, and I'll just cut out like myself. So
savage.
It's and then I'll do all the edits to that, and especially like when it's fast edits, you don't have to do a perfect mask because there's little like on beat like stuff and whatnot. So I'm actually really enjoying doing that. The one in the car, like I literally cut the window out and then like I just put whatever I wanted like in the windows. Like
it's tight. It's tight. I like that. I gotta piss again real quick. Sorry, I
do your
chugged
thing.
this fucking whole thing of water.
Man is fucking
I'm trying to stay hydrated. It ruins every pod. Long Drink is a legendary Finnish favorite that's been around since the 1952 Summer Games. It's a deliciously refreshing blend of premium liquor, natural grapefruit flavor, and just the right amount of carbonation. Honestly, this is the stuff right here. White is sugar-free, blue is citrus, orange is peach, red is cranberry, black is extra strength, and they're all fire. New flavors dropping soon, so watch out for those. And they're just the best sponsor for this podcast. So the next time you're tuning in, make sure you crack open a long drink, enjoy one while you're watching the show, because good vibes deserve great drinks. Let's go, champ. We're back to the episode. Thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time. Cut all that out.
Please. Please. Yeah. Holy shit.
We do have to wrap. It's actually more fun to have a conversation off the mic than it is on the mic. And I'm sorry for that for you guys, but maybe it's just because, you know, the kid's got he's got some things cooking we can't necessarily talk about yet, but you'll be back, right?
Yep. Yeah, I'll be back.
Okay. As long as you promise you're coming back.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, absolutely, bro. Yeah. No, bro, I'm staying here, man. This is the place. You
gotta stay. Yeah, stay here. Don't leave us.
No, I love it here, bro.
Don't fucking Jake Shore us.
If I get another place, Jake. If I get another place, I'm going to buy in a different city.
Okay.
You know?
Goals.
And then just like stay here. You know.
Yeah.
Like somewhere where is accessible and I play often, you know. I don't know where yet. I was thinking Denver, but it's like way too close, you know. Like I need to go somewhere that makes sense, that if I'm gonna spend an extended amount of time there. Yeah.
Need some good, a little sunshine.
Yeah, probably southeast, because yeah.
All right, that's exciting. We did order a pizza that we have to go pick up, and you're joining us. Mm-hmm. So we're gonna have a little pizza party here without you guys.
Chicago.
Maybe we could live stream it or something.
Yeah. Proper pizza party.
But thank you again. You're the fucking man. I don't have to tell you.
You're the man.
I appreciate you coming here. I appreciate more than anything is your true knowledge that you enjoy bestowing upon people, because that is really the point of this whole thing. I like to talk a lot of shit. It's fun. We have some laughs. But really, like, if somebody could watch this and get anything from it, that's the best part. And you definitely drop gems. Thank you for coming through.
Thank you,
Thank you guys for watching.
I appreciate it, dude. Thank you much. I always appreciate you guys. I'll always be back.
Hell yeah. That's my fucking
strategy.
guy. You guys, if you're on YouTube, like the video, drop a comment, subscribe to the channel. Algorithm activating activity. That's what we like to see here. Let's go, champ. Peace.
Let's go, champ.
Well, alright. Battle raps cause I've shaken grown men to the point that they can't even face their own friends. That's why they rhyme about jewels, not life, cause the ice on which they skating is so thin. That's what I love about the human soul. It'll usually show when the truth ain't told. Use a lie.